Peace, family. MJ the Mastermind checking in. Man, you got to be your best self on your worst days. Listen, if you're somebody that loves personal development, law of attraction, all things in between, you're going to love my channel. You're going to love this video. So make sure to watch this until the very end. It's going to add a lot of value to you, and I really mean that. Now, you have to be your best self when you're the least motivated. You have to be your best self on the worst days, man. This is something that, hit me today as I was doing my personal development. And it just sat with me. And, I wanted to share it with y'all and take a deeper dive on it. And so when we think about our best self, when we hear that term a lot, like your best self, I want to become the best version of myself, right? I feel like that's become like a more popular thing to say lately. It's like, I want to become the best version of myself, all right? Now, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But what is the best version of yourself? And I think a lot of times we as people, we don't really define that. Most people don't sit down and take the time out to define that best version of themselves, the characteristics, the habits, the traits of that best version of themselves. Okay? Now, when you are able to define it, it then provides a strong level of clarity. Okay? And with that level of clarity, you can now really know exactly when you are actually living in alignment and being congruent with your best self, because you now have defined it. It is now clear. Because if you're saying that you want to be the best version of yourself and you haven't defined that, it's just this mythical thing. And you can't really tie any actions, behaviors, or habits to anything concrete, because it's like this huge gray area in your life. So something tangible and practical that you could walk away from this video, I'm not even close to being finished, but already, is define that best version of yourself, right? Define the model of the person that you're striving to be. What's acceptable, what's not? What are the principles? What are the characteristics of that individual, of that version of yourself? Define that, okay? Now, when we go back to the original quote, you have to be your best self on your worst days. That's how I like to say it. I mean, the quote actually today technically was, you have to be your best self when you're the least motivated. But I like, you got to be yourself on your worst days, because we have bad days. And on those bad days, you may just not have the energy. You don't want to do it, right? Like today, I didn't want to, I did it today, but even the other day, which was, what's today? Today's Sunday. So even on Friday, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to, my back was hurting me. I didn't necessarily want to train legs. But I got in there and, squatted, lunges. I did all the exercises that I didn't like. And, got the job done. But you're going to have those days, right? And it's very, very important that when those days show up, that we're still congruent. We're still in alignment, right? And the reason why is because those days matter more. Because those are the days that you actually get the identity points. Okay? Those are the days where you actually reinforce identity by engaging in the activity that's in alignment with the identity of the version of yourself that you're striving to become. Because you're proving to yourself that you are that. Because when you are something, it doesn't matter what happens externally. You just are that. Like, the identity of this table is that it's a table. That's its identity. So it acts as a table. Same thing with whatever identity you associate yourself to be. If you associate yourself to be somebody that's disciplined, then that requires certain actions, that requires a certain lifestyle. Okay? And on those days where discipline is providing you an opportunity, right? That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, these situations, circumstances, and events are all opportunities for us to reinforce the identity of the person that we say that we are. Okay? So on those days that you don't feel like it, man, those are the most important days, y'all. Like, and I have those days. And it's a skill to begin to recognize those days early on, right? And have the awareness of like, oh, this is one of those days, and snap out of it, like, wake up. Right? It's very, very important. Right? Now, you have to be your best self on your worst days. And the reason why, another reason why, y'all, is because the law of compounding. Like, things compound energetically as well in the unseen world. So, like, when you are consistent in something, it compounds as well. So whatever that best self identity is, whatever that action habit is that's required, like, when you are actually consistent with that over a long period of time, and you actually reinforce that identity, you make an imprint on the universe. You make an energetic imprint on the universe. And now the universe associates everything that's associated with that identity with you. What is the lifestyle that goes with that identity? What is the income that goes with that identity? What is the type of relationships that go with that identity? So being your best self really just comes down to defining that identity and living by it every single day. You know, the everyday part is super important, right? Because you can't take days off when the goal is being congruent. There's no days where you cannot be congruent. Like, whatever it is that you may want in your life, right? And I'm trying to find this Marcus Aurelius quote. But whatever it is that you may want in your life, man, you have to, there's no days off. And when I say no days off, it doesn't mean like there's no days where you can't go on vacation, right? But I'm saying, like, there's no days off from being congruent and living in alignment with your ideal self. There's no days off. All right, man, I hope this was helpful. You know, I hope that you got value from this, man. If you're somebody that got value from this, you know, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, you know, or don't. I'm gonna save that Marcus Aurelius quote for later. I gotta find it, but man, every day, y'all. Every day, even on the days you don't feel like it. Right? And you have to find out what that means to you. Being congruent every day. You have to define what that actually means to you. That doesn't mean, like, for me, that means work out or train, 7 days a week, 365. It could for some people, but no, not for me, right? Congruency means to me like working out 6 days a week and doing like an active rest day, right? So everybody has their own standard. You got to find out what that is to you. But one more time, y'all, you got to be your best self on your worst day, man. Peace and abundance, everybody. I love y'all, man. Y'all have an amazing Sunday. Until the next video.